That music suggests we are ready. Ladies and gentlemen, looking for a place in the grand final, NRG versus Fnatic. Make some noise! NRG starting on the CT side. And we'll see what kind of buys are being brought forward. We've got the smokes and flashes for the CTs, and it's a slow start from Fnatic here. No rush. They have got two smokes himself, the HE, and they currently wait towards C-Seps. The flashbang goes over, and they're going to challenge the man himself, Brolan, looking for the opening pick. And there'll be a few CTs waiting for them. Tarek holds the corner, two players behind him. That's Dabbe and Ethan. They've put most of their players and manpower towards the B-bomb site.
Tarek rotating over a little bit early, though. He'll go back toward library. They haven't had any information, any contact, so back to a default. Passive, though, for Ethan and Dabbe. Crimson JW didn't go far beyond Boiler, and they're already wrapping back, even down alt middle, the safest way possible, because they haven't peeked for a crossfire at the mid wall, and in pistol round, that's certainly applicable. And now we get ready. It's going to be a 5-take versus 2 on defense, and I mentioned it, it's Dabbe and Ethan. Dabbe has a smoke, Ethan does as well. Neither have armor. They need to time this. They need to get the smokes out now, and Dabbe will, because they cannot brawl. They don't have enough in it.
Oh, that nade, Matt, it's done so much damage. I think nearly 200 there, and they're going for the run boost. They're sending Crims through. They've managed to break the smoke, but can they find the kills at this point? Flashbangs and a lot of pressure towards the B side. Brolan, of course, he'll get 2 frags, and that's it, completely cracked open. Bomb goes down, and Fnatic recover.
And JW's got a great position already, but Tarek at least runs him down. Remember, they are softened up by the way of the nades. They did well to get the smoke out, playing double utility on B. That's definitely a Dabbe call if I've ever seen one, and Cirque will find Twist. They aren't out of the woods. Fnatic has been softened to the point where Tarek strikes. Brolan finds his third. He's the only one with a kill so far for Fnatic, and he's gone. So Crims has to step up in the one-on-one. He's got the advantage on the end. But first, more ammo and a Glock than a USP, and more for Crims than Tarek.
It wasn't pretty, but Fnatic get it done. They really were tested there. They went for the full B execution, but NRG was certainly aware. They held on to all their utility until the full commitment from Fnatic. They dropped a horrendous smoke right at the mouth of the bomb site. Fnatic had to choose do or die at that point. They took a nade to the face. It did 200 damage, but the star player, Brolan, makes his way through like a bulldozer, gets the first 2 frags, and it was a really successful retake from NRG. Comes right down to the 1 versus 1, but it's Crim stepping up to finding the pistol victory, and there will be a force fire in response here from the North Americans. They've got the CZs, P250s, and more importantly, they have the 5 smokes. They want to treat this like a gun round and lock out Fnatic as long as possible.
Brolan again, the one to lead. Balm this time is left way back toward the stairs.
Oh dear. You don't like to see that.
He's gonna iron out that subtle hand if he wants his op to work. He's gonna need the op to be very proficient today. We know how good Twist was yesterday. If Fnatic makes it through, we'll have Twist versus Twists in the final. That'll be a mouthful, but it'll be fun. Brolan smoke down to cover CT. Counter smoke off that alone. Brolan, he walks in and fires. I think there's a slight gap to the left of it, but I don't know how much it will reveal. Meanwhile, the contact is back over toward A. They crossed through, they got through. Twist was no longer gray screened by the time the repeat came out for Cirque, so he lost the advantage at range. And Breezy, Deagle, speaking of range, is in the pit, but he can't find the headshot. And JW drops down like a drop bear. I heard all about those here in Australia.
Well, we just took one down before the game, Matt. It is going to be Crim trying to fight back here, but Ethan is getting it done with a P250, leaving Dabbe in a situation where he can actually win this one. The bomb is down, he gets another. It's real tight there, but it's another 1 versus 1, and Brolan with 3 kills. He wins them yet another round there. Takes his total up to 6 kills and 1 death. That was the force buy from NRG. Real close once again. CZ so potent on a map like Inferno. Round 3 coming through, and NRG do have the option to force buy again, but I would not recommend it. Gonna have to take the full eco on the chin at this stage, and here's Brolan fighting tooth and nail in the smoke. And indeed, it is the full eco, and NRG will send all 5 players towards the B bomb site. They have 1 flashbang, a single HE. We do see a lot of these B stacks. You do not want to see Fnatic with a B rush yet. It's a very lazy call and can cost you the round. You can run into stacks like this. Luckily for them, they're going for a pretty tight default right now. Flash goes over. This is looking decent for NRG. They've definitely got a kill off this. Tarek will take down Brolan. Surely they haven't got anything left. Oh!
Need to repeat faster exist. He has got to reload. He's low. He needed to work with Twist on that. So it's a 2-on-2. Tarek now has the UMP. Dabbe realizes that they're likely to come A as a result of the Crim's plan.
No, what's he
saw
doing?
him on the jump. He saw him. Oh, Dabbe missed a chance. He didn't go for the head. He just tried to fire him down, but he still gets the Balm. And now, with Dabbe so low, JW wraps back in and at least finds him, but the UMP for Tarek becomes entirely viable. The range a bit of an issue if he gets further away toward Moto against the AK, and he's going to get around the wall without being spotted, but Tarek confirms that he's not on the A site, and he is going to book it all the way to B.
He's got time now. I have to say, Crim's on that plant. That's so poor from him. He's got plenty of time there. You don't need to
him
plant.
on the jump as well.
Just hold for your teammate going together. Sure, you might have an open side, but you might not. You don't know. You've just got to call that a lot towards B, and he's almost lost in the round there. If Dabbe's got a cleaner kill, there was a chance he really closed it out there. JW still has the best Tarek, and he has a huge advantage here. He's got the armor, the AK utility as well in a great position. So no harm, no foul, but that could have been a lot worse. It's still a very expensive round. NRG have kept it incredibly close in terms of the finances, and we get into round number 4 where NRG should have a decent amount of cash now. The orbs being purchased, of course, for Cirque. He is an absolute monster on Inferno. Watch out for his dynamic CT play, causing damage mainly towards middle. And his Brolan fending them off, but this was much more expensive than it had to be, Matt. Clumsy plays from Fnatic.
I don't know. I get that Exist is low and he doesn't want to peek right away, but he was reloading after his teammate died. He had lots of time to get that done and at least try and counter peek. It was just slow reactions from Exist. Cirque, there's the op we talked about. He'll take Brolan down immediately, so first gun round already going much better for NRG. Twist will get himself in toward the tree at the very least. So despite losing one, they do get control of Banana. NRG tend to be more passive in this position, so getting a kill early on is fantastic for them. It actually boosts what normally is their chances just based on how far back they sit. Ethan will boost up Dabbe at new box.
Now, just to know, Matt, NRG actually had a bit of a fumble towards B. They have now used all of their smokes, and we haven't got to the 1 minute mark. It's going to be very difficult to fend this off now. Twist makes his way in, but a good boost from Ethan does yield one frag. Ethan still battling, and it looks quite good for them. The flashes, utility usage, they don't have smokes, but the flashes and incendiaries are doing a fantastic job. This round should be theirs.
Dabbe steps out. Flames and smoke, he can't spot anyone in it. He had to fire a lot of bullets. Fortunately for his sake, no one's pushing up onto the back of the platform. He should be able to repeat, but Crim's actually gets him down from water. They still haven't got the advantage, and they don't have the sight. Sure, they're past the top of Banana, but the Balm isn't, and guess who's behind to spot that now? Easy kill from Breezy, and it's going to be the first round from NRG.
Even got their own theme tune.
Interesting to note as well that NRG got to be the fan favorites today. It was Nip yesterday against Fnatic,
right.
and I think you got to give a lot of respect to how Fnatic played that, just as you do with NIP, but they certainly didn't seem to win anyone over for it.
Well, they did knock out 2 Australian teams on their way here, so it's understandable why they're not the favorites in the arena, perhaps.
That's, yeah. I get it. You're going to knock out another one tomorrow.
That's true. We'll see NRG picking the first round by virtue of Cirque's orb. That was lovely stuff there, managing to negate the flames and flashes to open things up. And Fnatic now, and you can see, they shouldn't be eco here, Matt, but the fact they had so many close calls against full ecos, well, I guess the force buy in the second, then the full eco in the third, has led them to this point where they just don't have any residual cash. So it's a great chance for NRG to really capitalize, keep 5 players alive here. As for now, they're up against Deagles, no armor, and 1 smoke. No need to challenge, no need to overextend. Crim's is giving up the fact they are eco, they're spamming those Glocks, but you can never take that as gospel. You should be very careful. Their teams like to spam the Glocks to bait out a CT when there could be a potential AK waiting for them.
Dabbe will hug the wall. Ethan to play off of it. He's not peeking, he's just at the corner. It's a fine position to be in with an MP9 against armorless pistols. He's close enough that he still has the advantage, and he'll find the first on JW. Steps out, realizes maybe that was a bad idea. A few too many guys there. That forces the smoke out defensively from Ethan because he's alone on the site. They don't want to concede a bomb plant too much ground. Cirque's forced to rotate as well. 25 HP, still on the op. Breezy's going to push mid, though. That allows Tarek to even go early as well toward the B site. And he plays alt mid cross. So no matter which way they try or elect to go toward the A side, I suppose they could sneak in the back door of the apartment. They're going to be spotted. So this rotation is going to work out very well. Tarek is going to take full advantage of it.
Solid work. Tarek keeps it clean towards the end there with 3 frags, and NRG starting to close the gap now. It's going to be 3-2 overall. Fnatic with a strong start for winning the pistol, but NRG are on their feet now. They've got a buy in reserve. They've got the AWP in the hands of Cirque, and I don't think we'll see an AWP just yet from Fnatic. It's not super useful on the T side of Inferno. It's going to be Crim's on the UMP, still not really recovered from the damage they took in that 3rd round. So 2 SMGs in total. Brolan as well, the star rifler. You really want him to have one of the AK-47s. Like the in-game need to exist, maybe should be a little bit more selfless in that respect, but either way, let's see round 6 come through. And they'll hold up and wait for any sort of utility towards B. Smoked out for now. Brolan just has to swallow the grenade. No escaping it. Nice timing from NRG.
Down to 46. Tarek, he's down to 55, so there is utility damage the other way as well. Twist goes aggressive. Crim is on 2. They're certainly bullying Fnatic. Trying to do it again with the nades in the other direction. Twist, he'll back off mid-wall, so they're going to concede the arch based on that damage and reset a little bit. Not a whole lot. They still have the map control to work with because NRG hasn't tried to reclaim any of it. But it almost seems like hesitation from Fnatic based off of that alone. For smokes on toward the pit. 2 players playing inside of it right now for NRG, so they'll be excellently placed. The question is, how do they respond? You can certainly go forward of it. Tarek, aware that the flashes are likely to come in. He still has the watch toward the door, so does Cirque, but he is aware that they're also going to be wrapping from quad based on the smokes, and that's when Tarek strikes. Back through the smokes himself, uses the wall to his advantage, but could not fade away from Brolan in the sight, and he is the one, fortunately, and by design, with the bomb.
Breezy's still in the pits, however, but Twist, he's made an incredible play here towards the arch. He could be the linchpin for success, especially if he keeps that up. That is insane. And JW, he'll find the penultimate frag. He'll close things out as well. Man, we got to see that in slow motion. 1 bullet to the dome. That was sick.
Stupendous shot. That pretty much set the tempo for the rest of the round. They just exploded off of that and get all 3 kills. Good execution. First time we've seen a set wall toward A.
Yeah.
And they actually handled Breezy well. They just left him alone. That's part of the reason you throw those smokes. You just want to ignore the pit. Just get into sight and then play it, cage it afterwards.
Absolutely so. You don't have to worry too much. That bomb goes down. There's not much the CDs can do about it. And Twist with the flag. I didn't think it'd be that effective, but he's been playing very well this tournament. 4-2, NRG. We'll start to feel the burn slightly now. MP9 for Dabbe and Tarek on just the Desert Eagle here. I say just, that man can do unspeakable things with the weapon. Grenades being exchanged once again. It's one of the most talked about areas on any map in CSGO. Ethan will take a grenade and just demonstrate that. Such a tricky position to fully control. And they'll fall back. So Fnatic got a bit of ground to work with here. But there are 3 CTs towards B. They can always retake that area.
JW already out. Twist is fully blind, but they're going to push Banana. First time in a while they're going to try and retake. Even then, though, NRG, they don't like to be overly assertive, so all they do is check the top. No one there. That seems to be enough information for them. They'll send Tarek back. Ethan took a bit of damage, but they found the opener. JW gone. And it's Cirque on the off again. Again, I mentioned it. It's going to be instrumental in this series. How Cirque performs will heavily determine how NRG does on the CT sides.
And I feel like JW's AWP has the potential to be very good, but it's so map dependent. Even in a best-of-3 series, it can be lights out one game, very quiet the second. Cirque will be consistent throughout. He is absolutely remarkable.
Map dependent as well, if Twist is going to pick it up or not.
Exactly. Mirage, you'll see Twist use it more.
Brolan in, so it's back toward B. Ethan is up oranges 2, and down below inside of it, although spotted now, is Dabbe. So they know there's 2 there, and that means they've got to put up a lot of attention in that direction, and that just lets Tarek walk it again from CT. And a deagle shot puts NRG within 1. It's 4-3. Money situation. It's not built up massively for NRG's side, but it's not broken down completely for Fnatic. I would say you probably save at this point. It is May 4th. You could go for a force. May the force be with them.
Let's hope so. They're going to need it at this point, and Yumpe will have to bestow his wisdom upon them, because at this point, $4,000 for Twist. The rest of them hovering at around 2 to 3K, and they're going to get 1,900 next round. So yes, there's a buy next, but still, there's not really an ideal situation. I think it's either full eco or fully invest. A partial buy wouldn't help them out too much here. It looks like they're going for the full eco option. Just one Deagle purchase so far, 2 of them. You shouldn't see any armor or any utility here. So it's a frustrating round, but the Swedish Deagles are pretty potent. Maybe they can find a few opening shots there.
Down mid, barely scathes Broland, the second one as well, but Twist, he's forced around the corner. That's very well timed from Ethan. He's too far forward at the half wall, can't run back through it, and the Deagle just could not land. If he hit it, I would have given him credit for one of the most pressured Deagle shots I've seen in a while. Ethan and Daps, Ethan again. They've got full control of Banana this time, and again, they haven't really gone beyond the half wall much at all. GW will have the pit, but it's probably not going to do much with it. Bombs down at the bottom of mid, and just the B250.
Not really much you can do with this, I'm afraid. Like we said, pretty much the full eco, but this is NRG tying things up now to 4-4. Ethan starting to get warmed up, and it's dangerous now because he has the AK-47 on the CT side. JW might be able to get one frag here. That's not bad at all. Very convincing on the shot with the P250. Might be on for a second here now. He has the AUG, but Tarek will take care of him. It is going to be tied up once again. CT side starting to look a lot more efficient now for the North American squad. Here are the scores on the doors for you. Tarek, 12 kills and 5 deaths at the very top of the CT side. And we have Broland, of course, 8 and 6 for him. Exist 1 and 8, and Breeze at the bottom for 2 and 5. Round 9 coming through, and still the money not strong. That's why I said a partial buy just wasn't an option for Fnatic in the previous round. Money still wouldn't be ideal. Galil, UMP, bare bones utility, as they desperately try and pull round 9 in their favor.
Ethan, quick check. He'll back off this time. Tarek comes out with the most amount of damage, being the guest on that side of the map. So double op, and Daps is on it. I think it's double op A, by the way, which is an interesting call. Obviously went for the mid pick, but you would presume, and Daps suggests that now, that you would want one of those on B. He still hasn't left the arch, but he's going. He's not certain, though, because the smokes have just come out at the mid wall. Cirque has left the apartments. I imagine if he anchors here, Daps has to get on the horse. They're almost committed at this point. With a minute to go. Cirque, though, goes hunting, and Exist goes down.
So confident there. He knew exactly where Exist was. Takes him down. Early pick, falls back, doesn't overextend. That's a real textbook play from Cirque. Less than a minute, and you can see Fnatic with 3 smokes, a couple of flashes. JW setting himself up for the dribble smoke outside towards the hay bales. That'll allow him to get out, and his teammates can flash him through.
Bit of an issue, though. The fact that Daps playing that second op wants to support B, but hasn't committed to it. They've left Tarek there, and that means there's an op in the site, and Breezy in the pit who's completely smoked off. The retake's going to be difficult if Cirque can't do further work and further damage, but he can. He'll find 2 more. JW down to Breezy, and just Twist to find. They hit all the shots required, and Cirque even confirms that with his 4th in the round, because again, if that op went down and they had to retake with Daps swinging in, that could have been a problem.
Yeah, they're looking solid now, and they're actually going to change things up and go for the double orb setup. Daps will be rolling with the second. As the analyst said, he's not known for high fragging ability, but he's certainly very smart. He knows how to use the AWP. He can hold decent angles. He can win rounds with brain power instead of brawn. We'll see if Cirque can continue this sort of play as well. This is absolutely fantastic to watch. He always puts on such a fantastic show. Round 10 now has to be the eco for Fnatic. They've won the pistol, but not many gun rounds since. They get an opening pick here. Breezy maybe overextending at the start. Does a ton of damage, to be fair. Takes Twist, Crims, and Broland. Less than half health. They've managed to pick up the AUG, so there is something there. Broland has armor, but only 30 HP.
Does he give that gun away? He has the armor. That's the key factor in it. There's no aim punch. Exist and JW each have 100 if you wanted to take that approach. Tarek and Daps together in the pit again, so Daps still having that secondary op. Double op A. When do they double up with the second on B? That's the question. Daps has to be quick. Finds the first out in front. Knows there's a second one. Oh, he didn't realize it. I was going to say in the pit, he should have been aware that JW dropped down. His hesitation allows Broland the shot on the AUG, and now it's a 2-on-2. Sight given up. But Balm not there yet. It's actually in the middle, and they have to cross for pit. Does he see it? Cirque scoped in. I don't think he spotted the edge of it. It should have appeared on the radar when he did, but it doesn't even matter because he has JW down. Roland wants to go back to get it. And he knows how much of a risk that is, more so because if he backs off this wall, there's a man wrapping in behind. Ethan's elected, however, to go toward the apartments, so he won't be shot down from quad. And Roland's trying the safest possible route, not exposing himself by walking out in the open just to get there. And he'll go for the safest plants. Not quite, he'll be spotted. Ethan's got an angle.
Nice work from Ethan. Pounces for even a chance to even fake plant there. Swings out, gets the kill, and sure, that was an eco, but Fnatic will always be dangerous for those Desert Eagles. Not surprising they can find a few kills. It's Brodan left in the 2 versus 1, but such low HP. Just try to get the plant down for the extra cash, which has been a massive issue for them. And speaking of the AWP, Twist will bring it out on the T side, as they feel like they could use a bit of that against the double AWP setup of Cirque and Dabbe. So I'm expecting a very slow round here, Matt. Probably standard plays towards B, battling for that control, but they're going to see if Twist can open things up and catch an aggressive CT player.
Hasn't been overly flashy. Oh, Broland got there quickly, but Dabbe is very solid on the second op right now. He's never normally a hero, but right now he's doing exactly what he needs to do. But he hasn't been flashy, Tarek. I just want to point out, he had the 3K pushing back through the smoke on an anti-eco.
Yeah.
Had the one on the Deagle to close it out. Same thing, came in late. He's been very good in the pit. He leads the way fragging for NRG. And the fact that he is playing in the pit, and the fact that he has been on that side of the map, aside from situations like now when he has to be the swing player, that's part of the reason they haven't been able to get into the A site. Cirque, not as fast this time. Crims has him down. Breezy left to anchor. He knows they're going to wrap as well. Lost his vision, lost his head. JW comes in behind. He's timed that drop many times. And it's Tarek that'll wait in the arch to see if Dabbe even considers it, and they're going to call to back off. They haven't saved up enough money, at least those two players. Breezy's got 49, Cirque's got 89, so they'll still be able to buy. But this gives Fnatic a win. They're only on 3 digits of economy, but they are on a max loss bonus.
Much better there from Fnatic. Crim's taking advantage of the arch position, and luckily for him, Cirque missed the shot. That was their opening, and a really nice flashbang to back Crim's up, enabling him to take down the player in the pits as well. That was the A side completely open, and NRG, they'll think better of it. They'll have to save the AWP of Dabbe, and Tarek on the AUG. Wasn't worth going for it in the 4 versus 2. That's much better from Fnatic. Remember on the T side of Inferno as well. They've already got 5 rounds. That's a pretty decent total. Anything after this will be a nice bonus for him. Obviously, want as many rounds you possibly can get, but things are going very smoothly so far. Round 11 coming through. Plenty of cash, of course, for NRG. They're going to have $10,000 on Cirque. He'll be purchasing out the AWP again if they want to continue with the double AWP setup, or Dabbe could just hand it back and they go out to 4 rifles. We'll see which way they are inclined. It looks like they're focused on this double AWP setup. That's where they want to be, and that's exactly what they'll do. Cirque, even after buying the AWP, still has around $4,000, so money still okay. Round 12 coming through. Can Fnatic find consecutive rounds here?
Already down at the corner on Twist's the one holding it. He's waiting for a boost. Spawns a Molotov, knows that means they're at least at the corner. But again, it's very unlikely NRG goes much beyond that. They never really try and burrow in toward the tree, toward the cubby. But Dabbe's on the op. They're happy and content with that because he anchors and does so successfully against Broland. Feeling confident, goes for the repeak on Twist, but gets punished for it. Now they know there's a T-sided op.
Yeah, one pick in that sort of situation, especially for anchoring, always try and get out of there. Dabbe bit off a little bit more than he could shoot, but still a 4-on-4. JW will be making his way towards the end of the apartments here, trying to see if he can catch a CT out of position. His teammates, however, holding towards second middle. Crims has got the boiler room. 3 CTs reside towards A. Ethan left alone to anchor that B bomb side for NRG.
Just holding it out. With the smoke down, JW again will try and be the drop bear from the apartments. Dabbe's ops on the ground. They're going to single hold B in a Crim's fashion inside the site. That's a lot of pressure to put on Ethan. Playing it from dark. Question is, do they check it or do they somehow believe that no one's here, that they've rotated? Well, the Molotov has answered it, but they weren't looking, and he has the bomb down 10 seconds. They've got to scramble to recover. Crims will grab it. They flash in. 5 seconds. They know he has to be on the plant. But they can't do anything with it because they aren't quite close enough to go as a unit. They don't want to give away one more because that puts them at a 2-on-2. Cirque still holds. Tarek and Breezy still quite a ways back, waiting for the smoke to remove itself from the picture. It has, and Crims is not fully in banana, which means he can try and catch them off, but not hitting the first shot. He's put pressure on himself, and it will give the trade to Tarek again, as Twist does find him in return. He's got to get away. Watch for Cirque. Op versus Op, and oh, he's going to hold. Twist isn't aware. He's got to get the shot. No, Cirque! He baited him out. He got him off it, and he's got time to get the defuse.
Wow, best of both worlds for him there. He was confident in his ability to get the full defuse, and then as soon as he hit the footsteps, pulls out the USP, wins the round regardless. That is absolutely fantastic from him. It'll be 7-5. NRG win the round by the skin of their teeth. We go into number 13 here. Money pretty decent on the CT side. There might have to be a pause just to distribute the wealth. I think one player might be on an SMG, but Cirque will drop over an MP9. Ethan will use that, which is absolutely fine on Inferno, believe it or not. It's a kind of map that actually lends itself to the mobility of the MP9 and the high rate of fire. You can tuck yourself into all those cubby holes. And Tarek, he's changing the pace up now, gets himself towards middle. The common approach these days, and we'll see if he can make it work. There's the first kill. Surely goes down with the trade and exists. Will take a bit of damage, but bring things back to a 4-on-4.
Breezy takes out JW. Assist credit on the flash to Cirque. Roland again toward Banana. Fnatic have 5 rounds in this. That's the remarkable aspect. 3 of those do come from winning the pistols, so the force buy in the second round, they were able to convert, but it wasn't really until the guns came out that NRG started rolling, and Fnatic hasn't had an answer, and it's starting to show. They can't really find a sustainable opening pick either. They've had a few trades, Daps notably with the op at Banana, but they haven't been able to do much with it early on. And Brolan hasn't been quite as explosive in finding them space as he was yesterday.
Well, that's what I like from NRG here. They're happy to take these duels at the start. They're not letting Fnatic run their default. That's the worst thing you can possibly do. We saw it yesterday on Cash when they played NIP. They had way too much space. They weren't being challenged at the start of the rounds. If you go in there, even as a 4-on-4, you've shut down any set piece they might have in mind, and they have to adapt on the fly. Cirque is doing the same here. The smokes go down. He jumps above them, takes all the aggro away. Breezy good for 1.5, and Cirque with a CZ, he knows he can cause damage here still, but he has to hit the shots. He swings to hit exist here. Has to be a no-scope, but Twist will best him. The bomb will be planted, and now Ethan left in the 1 versus 1. The fake plant will have to be repositioned now as Twist avoids the flames.
But with the flames, he confirms that he's far enough away to plant default, and therefore he's safe. Oh my god, the op. The knife was out. Ethan's got to be ready. Twist doesn't go. Baits it off. Tries to get a reaction, and he does. Ethan chases, and Twist, he'll get Fnatic their 3rd gun round, their 6th overall.
Really exciting round, though. We've had plenty of 1v1 so far. This time it's Twist to pick it up, and I think the money might be shattered on the NRG side.
I did mention Brolan hasn't been as explosive to open up space. He does still lead the way. He is still finding kills. I want to point out something else. I mentioned Tarek. He was doubling up the pit position earlier on. He's been playing in the swing position. Now that he's not been over toward pit, that's Breezy to anchor. And he sits on the bottom right now for NRG, and he does seem to struggle at finding multi-kills. That's a multi-kill position all day long.
Absolutely. He could have done much better with that, but maybe Daps can go further. That was a kill. Doesn't quite make it, and JW will find the double kill and indeed the round. This was actually the force buy from NRG, and they tried to bait Daps in. It actually works out. Ethan couldn't have done more for him. If he got the 1 kill defed, they probably don't win the round, but still would have been a fighting chance of going for the retake. And that's going to be it. Fnatic got 7-7. NRG will just have to save the M4 for Mass and indeed that Desert Eagle for Tarek. This is looking very comfortable for the Swedes now after finding quite a few in the last 4. This will be 3 out of 4 to be exact. And money continues to be an issue for NRG now, but only be a 2nd stage loss bonus for the final round after this. They need to save absolutely everything, which is quite little. That's the M4 being removed out of the hands of Cirque. Breezy with the FAMAS, hoping he can hold on to it. There is an M4 next to him, but I'm not sure he'll be able to grab it. Definitely not now.
No, definitely not at all. They got him at the last second, so no guns brought over, despite that they were holding an M4 in Cirque's hand and the FAMAS after the time it expired. And we have a tie game. Inferno, anything is possible. I don't want to favor the half, but if you look at statistics, it certainly is CT-sided, so that, you would argue, states that Fnatic is in good position. JW, I don't know how he survived that from Daps, and Daps will be wondering how he didn't get the kill. This time, he might do better off. He gets proactive instead with the CZ. And he has the MAC-10 to follow it up. Nade as well, my God. A massive one. Molotovs on both corners. They're forced to stay out. Ethan pre-fires. He's the one that had the pistol. They wanted the MAC-10 to be ready, but Broland gets both. They did not get their vision back. Fnatic time to push to perfection, and they have the man advantage. Not quite an open sight because Cirque is rotated around. But he only has a scout, and he's desperately firing in.
There's not really much he can do here. It's the final round. The scouts, the Deagles, Fnatic. There should be absolutely no chance they get this one up, and they're not going to rush things either. Bombs right down there in T-spawn. They're just investigating the B side before they fully commit. Very patient stuff, I respect it. They know the CTs have to react to this point.
Back out from Twist. That they're going to be wrapping in from that direction, so he's just hoping to hit one before they even have a chance to get on the site. They already had Exist down to watch the bottom of mid. They'll switch that around so that he can rifle in and toward the ball. They're going to have to now. They actually sent Crim's hunting, thinking this might be a better idea than trying to attack the B site with the bomb not yet planted, and rightfully so. He's not out the apartments yet, and Cirque and Breezy are already in rotation. Breezy only has 13. Cirque still with that scout, though, can do damage and soften them up for that Deagle, but so far no success.
Well, this is looking very good from Fnatic. Like we said, patient. It gets a little bit scary with the timer, but the bomb's down, so that's absolutely fine. It's a 3 versus 3 now. CTs will have to give it their all.
What's this? Top of the site, it didn't even get to see it, but Twist found it from the pit instead. He knew exactly where Cirque was in the end. 8 for Fnatic, so they do turn things around with the gun rounds and break the economy very quickly to have a lead at half. We'll take a short break. This one's just warming up.
Dancing on my own when you spill that ramen coke on my t-shirt. Yeah, your eyes made it difficult to get my baby. And the next thing I knew, we were so ready to give in, skin to skin on that baseline. Ooh, you give me that high pitch feel, baby. We shared a cigarette, that is first sight. The way you looked at me, couldn't say goodbye. And whatever you did to make it stop, 'cause baby, you make me feel something. And the next thing I knew, we were so ready to give in, skin to skin on that baseline. You give me that high pitch feel, baby. And the next thing I knew, we were so ready to give in, skin to skin on that baseline. Ooh, you give me that high pitch feel, baby.
Welcome back to our second semi-final. Currently, Fnatic lead 8-7 here on Inferno, the first map of our best of three. They're looking sharp as they move over to the CT side, and NRG will have to pull their socks up if they're going to bring this one back. We'll have a look at the buys as they come through. Ethan will be carrying the utility. The smokes and flashbangs are there as they send 4 players down towards second middle. Ethan will patrol towards that underpass. JW has spotted in, however, and we'll see if he wants to aggress a little further. It seems not. They're going to have 3 towards B and just 2 CTs protecting the A bomb site. That's going to be Twist and JW.
Daps around early. He's going to be greeted by quite a few players. Twist has yet to shoot, so they don't know he's there, but he was a little bit slow. He hesitated on who to fire at. Cirque got him down. Breezy finds 2. They've got an equal situation, and the bomb being planted. Rotation still required from Crims, and Exist engages early. Wingman not around. 10 HP as a result, and he'll change the angle. He'll go for Library, gives him a slider gap, gives him the headshot potential. It's tougher to hit from both perspectives, but with the low HP, he's looking for the headshot anyway. Crim starts the charge. Both inside of the site, they don't know where Breezy has gone. They'll find that now, but he gets both! That's a fine 4 in the round.
That's more like it. That's what we want to see from a player of Breezy's caliber. Absolutely astonishing fragger on his day. We haven't seen much of it yet, but that could be a sign of things to come. Holds his nerve at the 2 versus 2. Hits both the shots of the Glock. NRG tie things up 8-8 now. They'll bring out a couple of rifles, 3 MAC-10s to Fnatic. Absolute specialists with the pistols. They'll have the CZs going forward. Here's the replay. It's only the 10th kill for Breezy there, even after a huge round like that. So we want to see a lot more from him.
Cirque. He's going to be the one to check out toward the apartments. 8-8, good win from NRG. That's what they needed to replicate that of Fnatic's success. Perhaps even find more than just this conversion, but also the 3-0 start. Ethan gets boosted by Daps. That gives him a better chance to lob a nade in toward CT connector. It's a clever little tactic. Doesn't do as much damage as I'm sure they were hoping, but it does hit Twist nonetheless. And 3-0 would be likely with this force buy, as we know that means the CTs aren't going to have much to purchase in the next round.
But there's always quite the chance with Fnatic and the CZs, to be fair. Those smokes, they're going to try and hold them off as long as they possibly can. Try and make NRG feel uncomfortable and commit to moves that they weren't necessarily planning on. 50 seconds at this point, and Fnatic still have 3 of their smokes, man. So that's still looking pretty good in that department. JW holding Arch, he'll have the scouts trying to cause damage. Not necessarily going for frags, of course, that would be ideal, but he's just to find tags so those CZs can be a lot more effective in the later round.
Daps goes, flash out, MAC-10 to probe the sights, tagged by JW. So he does indeed, and smartly, cleverly, they know that, oh, he's actually hit Tarek as well. Daps gets in his face. They know that he's tagged 1, and he's going to rotate to Library to try to shut them down, so exactly when he made that movement, they wrapped in behind him. That closed the distance faster than they would have liked, but Exist, he's still in the smoke. What? He hit Tarek on that, look at him go! Got 3, and Balm's not planted, 4 seconds, Ethan can't get to it. They've stolen the round, there's no time.
That's exactly what we built up, Matt. The scout to do a damage initially, make things uncomfortable. The smokes down to make them feel like they have to go to a certain position. They go for the B split. They have to run through smokes, and Exist is just waiting for that opportunity to deny the plant. The timer was running low, and does he deliver? Doesn't even need any fancy shots there. He just bides his time until the moment he can come out and take that bomb down. It's exactly what he did, and you're right. Fnatic steal that round away from NRG. That is a gut punch, as they'll take a full pause there and discuss what just happened.
Tarek sat stunned. He didn't even have his hands on the keyboard or mouse. They were under the table, and he looked completely subdued and surprised by the result.
And that's why you buy the smokes. The time can be your worst enemy. Oh, wow. That's probably the treatment I'm going to be getting after this game, to be honest.
I'm thinking that's probably the treatment Chad's going to get after he loses.
There's the all-important kill from Exist. The fact he got a second as well was brilliant, but then this goes to town with the 3rd. Well played. Like I said, doesn't need a massive amount of skill for that, but just a real nice play in terms of IQ.
Silver linings, because that happened so quickly, and they were still actually rotating in to get to the bomb. Ethan keeps his AK because he was removed, so at least they have a gun from all of that. In fact, they may do something with it because Breezy, he had Swiss. Dabbe for sure looked like he would get one just based on the MAC-10 wild spray. But they've got the advantage now in terms of manpower, not so much with HP. Dabbe's only on 6. But they've got an AK and a UMP picked up from the early exchange.
Still worth going for on the Fnatic side. The bomb not planted, and JW's bidding on a show, and that's the bomber. He somehow got the bomber. He steps. He gets another. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's going to be one of those days. And now they take the lead.
He's going to spot the bomb because he smoked off Banana. Oh, he didn't look far enough. He would have seen that immediately if he had gone further down, but it doesn't matter. Dabbe is on 6. Highly unlikely he's able to go that far back and find it before they'd have that information. 56 seconds. If he wraps in and he wants to say a prayer at the pulpit, he would look the right direction, but the altar boy is still in place and Broland finds the kill on Dabbe.
That is absolutely filthy from JW. Oh, it's just such a textbook play from him. It's what you've come to expect from this guy. Bang, takes him down. You think, okay, that's enough. Then the USB comes out, of course. He makes light work of Cirque as well. Bomb down in T steps. A round that looks so promising for NRG falls apart very quickly indeed. That was their force buy, and now they've got absolutely nothing. P250s and Glocks. There's nothing you can say in this round. Just a simple call to the start. They'll have to see whether they can even find a kill. That's it. Hold up and see if there's any aggression and try and capitalize upon it, but that's absolute nightmare fuel for NRG.
Jump across toward Boiler. Ethan, he positions himself at the ready to combine his talents with those of his teammates to burst through the smoke onto JW. Good timing on the flash. They know he's there. He pre-fires, though, and Crims will save the day. He came out from the arch side, got them before they around the corner, and even threatened JW, who remains with 100 HP despite that flash going off. Dabbe's the only one left. Last round looked like it was getting away, but you said it. JW gets the bomb, and suddenly the tables turn. Dabbe, this time he has 100 HP, but even less chance to win the round.
Yeah, I think 0% chance at this point. We'll see if he can even find a frag. It's very, very unlikely. He'll jump out, and Broland's waiting for him, just trying to sneak a plan if it was even possible. But Fnatic looking comfortable now on their CT side. They lost the pistol, but they follow it up with 3-round victories after that. It's going to be a difficult comeback now for the NRG boys. AK-47's available, but that's about as good as it gets. It's Tarek and Ethan who have Galils. They opt for the strategy instead of the firepower here. They want the grenades. They do have their smokes, their flashes, and Molotov suggest they'll be going to a default execution. They do like their A plays with the wall of smokes towards a pit. And for now, going for the B control. Pretty standard stuff. They have to try and push past the grenades.
Cirque is ready to fight. He's actually through the smoke, already toward the barrels. The Fnatic's turn to stay passive. Crims is, remember, by the way, not playing in B anymore in this new setup with Fnatic. Despite that he is so good in that position, they've been putting him over toward A more and more. Dabbe and Cirque. Smoke still down where Twist is trying to play from. With an op. He'll follow that smoke up. Exist wants to take advantage of a bonus situation with the MP9 by getting as close as possible. Crims, meanwhile, already inside Boiler with this VP-esque press. Might have a great position and a lot of information because they're making noise rotating back around toward middle. Crims heard Tarek jump up, so the focus goes that direction. He fires in, damage done. Broland's able to get it through the wall. Now he just has to look toward top mid. Dabbe, he can hear him running around, but he can't get the vision. Sprays so he can rotate, and Dabbe is going to call if they're all inside of the apartment position. If they found that kill on Twist, you may have gone all the way back toward B. Instead, they get locked in, and Fnatic has the advantage. Cirque gets taken down. Broland finds his third through the smoke, and Ethan nowhere to go but down. Fnatic on 12.
Feels like the door's being shut now, and Inferno, Fnatic just way too strong. NRG did what they could with the little they had. A couple of Galils, and it's Tarek that goes down first. A 3-man setup in the apartments on the CT side, and NRG just take the bait, hook, line, and sinker. You didn't see this in Broland's POV. He managed to get 3 kills. They've just got no chance. They're in the flames. They're flashed as well. And it will be 12-8 as NRG have to take another partial buy here. They certainly have the maximum loss bonus, but it's not enough to help them out here. P250s, 1 deagle, and a couple of flashes. It's not looking good. It should be 13-8 in favor of the Swedes here.
Sneak up close with the pistols in the apartments. It's their only hope. They'll go fast. Waterfall flooding into the site, but JW only for 1 so far. Same with Broland as he got tapped back. Balm picked up. JW gets tagged, but that's not good enough. Breezy, fantastic shot on Crim's.
We'll see if that's going to be enough. It's Eco, remember, so it should be. Exist will close things out. Still got that MP9. Just a note on the money in the CT side, Matt. Broland at $12,000. Exist 10K. JW 11,000. They've got enough for the rest of this game, and they're looking likely to close things out very early on. Tarek has 17 kills. Cirque with 15. They are fragging, but he can't find these closure to the rounds. And will be Broland with 22, just to note. He really has turned it on in the second half. All for Cirque. And Ethan's with a decent spawn. I'm sure he'll be battling for control of the banana area once again, but they haven't really had much of a say on their T side whatsoever.
Crim's down the stairs again. Boiler door, this time without the support system, without the press, we'll call it. Breezy still got found. Easy headshot, walked straight into it. Optimistic that no one would be there. Normally when you come up from that side of the apartments, you at least have one going to boiler so they can quick check that spot. Costs them dearly. We went from saying Fnatic couldn't find the opening pick on their respective T side to turning things around, actually winning out the half, and now NRG suffers the same fate. They just haven't been able to get anything going. Boost in the corner, but as soon as they do, oh, they at least get Exist. Thankfully that time he did have the MP9 still, because he actually had the jump on them. He was ready for that. He could see them first, and he got the damage into Ethan, but it just wasn't enough with the weapon. JW flashed, spotted. New box, certainly a point of contention that they'll try and focus, and JW tries to buy himself space.
Oh, no.
He wanted to focus Daps, and Ethan somehow turns against his own team. He found the shot, but he was so fast to react and so nervous to do so. He takes the Balm down in the process. It's a 2-on-2, and they don't have a plant off of this. Molotov on default, they can't get to it yet, and that gives more time for the flank of Broland. He's already a banana. He'll look to default, but Crims reads it very well.
He's confident, isn't he? Broland wants to get stuck in there, but it is going to leave Crims in a possible 2 versus 1. Cirque, Ethan, both low. He's going to wait the smoke out here and see if any opportunities arise.
Low enough that the AK can tap him quick. Cirque gets the angle instead, follows up with both kills to close the round. Finally, NRG get a gun. 9 rounds. It's only their second in the half despite winning the pistol. And you mentioned it, that money, it was so out of control, so well established on the Fnatic side. Still expensive, the last round was closely contested. They'll have to buy back in, but they've got enough this time for sure. Ethan, man, oh, that's one of the cleanest team kills I've seen in a while.
It was a very nice shot. You can't argue with that. It was clean and crisp, but just unfortunately the wrong team. 13-9 and Fnatic, absolutely. Loads of cash here. AWP for JW. You'll see Twist pick up the AWP in the CT side, Inferno occasionally as well. And they slow things right down, not contesting the banana area at all. NRG will wait for Cirque to see if there's any sort of opportunities towards middle.
Cirque finally back on an AWP. So JW took Crim's duties of watching the boiler room instead. Exist in the cubby. Do they successfully bait it in or not? Balm, they'll grab that now. 54 seconds. And the obvious pressure when you have control of banana but not much else is to see what else you can dig from that side of the map. Twist alone to note, by the way. Og was on the fountain. He'll rotate it off. He has Exist back with him now, but it's already a difference from what we saw on the T side when Twist was running the op. He's letting JW go back to it. Twist does the early damage. Exist follows it up. Tarek finds the man in the back lines, able to smoke off the second, and that means they can grab the bomb thrown across. Exist tries to spam the default, and it was close enough that Dabbe actually took a step back before planting the bomb as Breezy catches off rotations. Should make this a much easier round as JW and Exist go together up. If they can get it at least to the corner, it'll be able to hold Nubox. That'll give Exist more room, but I think they're going to back out. Money has dwindled down, and it'll be the 10th round for NRG.
It makes sense. This round looks like it's completely out of their reach. The money's low. They can save 3 weapons here, one of which is the AWP for JW. Let this one slip by, keep enough money to buy into the next round. You have a nice buffer. Sure, NRG are going to find their 10th round, but it's better than taking a full eco in the next. So Breezy will have 6 HP. That's going to confirm things as... Oh, that's back again.
Every night before bed, they're not wrong.
I won't argue with that, man. It's accurate, it's factual.
So 3 rounds up and 3 rounds down. Fnatic can win it or be tied with either team finding that amount. Or in JW's case, oink, oink, oink.
It's going to be the next round now. And a timeout has been called. 13 for Fnatic.
I do love JW, just to note.
Oh, you just want to put
He loves the trolls. He says it on his Twitter header. Some call me Piggy, some call me Wonder Child. I love them both.
And are you one of the trolls?
No.
Oh, he doesn't love you then.
It's fine.
All power for JW, saving the previous round. CZ for Crims. Rifles available here as Exist. He wants to get stuck in. They've done a lot of damage with the grenades, but they receive more. Dabbe spraying the smoke, aware of the push. It's going to be the opening frag. 5 versus 4 now. Exist will be the one to go down. That's the in-game leader removed. Tarek tries to strike towards the opponent. Brolan's caught napping. He'll recover, but surely will be traded out. And that's JW to bring it back to a 3-on-3. Make it 2. That's one hell of a shot. Breezy will be removed from the equation as Fnatic battle for their 14th round. JW can't believe how easy it's getting for him now. That it's walking out into his crosshair. Bombs down, surely the round's over. Dabbe's on low HP, doesn't seem the man for the job, but JW certainly is absolutely massive. So they get the first pick towards B, and the mentality there from NRG is they force a rotation there from the A bomb site. They might be able to pounce. There'll be no presence towards A whatsoever. Brolan, even with a very slow reaction, gets the first kill, and they don't fall back. They don't maintain the advantage. They commit to that very tight angle out of the apartments, and sure, JW hit some remarkable shots here, but they could have done a bit more with it. This is where it all went horribly wrong for them. He gets 4 kills in total and gets Fnatic 1 step closer to winning. Their map pick of Inferno. Remember, it's Train next, and NRG have been sensational on Train the last 3 months. They have not dropped it. It's been one of their absolute best, so it's why they've picked it up. Fnatic expected to win this, especially at this point. Brolan changes position in the apartments, waiting for fast aggression. Knife out, bomb down, 2 kills found. Can't get the hat trick, but he's done damage. JW spots the barrel of Cirque as well. He'll hold strong and wait for his opportunity. He knows the kill's coming, Matt. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, he saw the barrel stick out. He's committed to this. He wants the chance at it. I'm not sure he's going to get it. They're going to rotate it around and try and take this from either boiler or apartments. Balm remains inside of the site. It's under the smoke. At least for now, the smoke dissolves. JW gets what he always wanted, but Ethan gets him back for it, and it gives them still a chance as Dabbe goes back around. If he finds this on a quick peek, they're wide open again. The Balm all defined. That's the only thing they're missing in the equation, and Crims is going to make it very difficult to get that far.
Great position from Crims.
It's going to be even more difficult because Twist is locking in the map. He's gotten at the bottom side of Banana. He's holding Dabbe, and Dabbe can't get back over. If he was at the arch side, you could argue it gives him the freedom, but they know he's got to get toward the bomb still. Waiting, spotting, but can't find it fast enough. It's map point for Fnatic.
That was his chance. Dabbe could have hit the shot. He was in the correct position. Crosshair was there, couldn't find the flick. 15-10, and I feel like the money has been drained at this point. 3,400, pretty much across the board, it looks like Dabbe. And his face says it all. Now take a timeout. A little bit of chatting going on there. The coach trying to dig them out of this hole. They came into this looking absolutely fantastic. That's a new one.
They're preparing for when Chad loses. They're going to have to yell out some sort of profanity tomorrow.
Yeah, it is going to be
Do you have a
embarrassing.
chant yet?
I don't think they've come up with a song for me yet. I think they're working on it.
No, I heard you in the bathroom. You were saying like Australia sucks, and I was like, man, don't do that. Come on, you're gonna get yourself in more trouble.
I've got my own tricks for tomorrow. Don't you worry about that. There's going to be the crowd are going to be upset. That's all I'm going to say. They're not going to be happy.
I look forward to it.
First the koalas. Who knows what's happening tomorrow? It's going to be a bloodbath. What's that? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Sorry, I'm going to have to continue casting the game. Round 26.
Back to things that matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh wow, we've invigorated them.
We've taken it up.
I mean, it was his chance. I swear, I never said it. I was just repeating what I heard. Don't, conflate that. Put that on me. Don't drag me into this. I mean, I didn't even come last year. I didn't want to be associated with him so badly. So,
Scared for guilty by association at this point, Matt, I'm afraid.
I'm going down with you, buddy. It's an honor.
Rifles and threes, a couple of Galils, AK-47s. There's a MAC-10 for Daps. Tarek has the Desert Eagle. This is where it should end. Fnatic with a double orb set up as JW and Twist. It's so dangerous, especially when the orb is not available on the T side. They're going for mid-control here. The smokes are down. Takes JW's vision away. But Brolan, he's been such a rock. Playing years above his experience throughout the tournament. An absolute candidate for MVP so far. Daps alone. Quite common for an in-game leader to set up fakes. He wants to be the one to pull the trigger on the call, and when he feels like he's caused enough distraction on this side of the map. So you can see just firing off. He's not firing at anything, just showing that he's there while his teammates fully committed A.
And it might be the last commitment they make. But then again, maybe not, because Breezy and Ethan each find kills. Breezy went down. Brolan did get one. Hasn't had as much multi-kill presence at the pit today, but again, still leads the way on 26. Not a shy performance at all. Crims, meanwhile, will wrap back to Moto. Actually just gonna grab the op. They'll have two of them still and back away. Daps has heard that, so they know they're safe. They know the round is confirmed, but they themselves do not need to overcommit in chasing because the weapons are so low, and Fnatic knows there's still a buffer, so sure, you lose to a 4 spy to give up the 11th round, but keep the guns up and give yourself way more chances to close out the game.
They've got 4 rounds to get after this one. NRG at least give themselves another chance. They've recovered a few more rifles here. Tarek sticks on the Deagle. We'll see if this is where NRG can take us to overtime. We've had plenty of them in this arena so far. Yesterday, most notably, the NIP Fnatic game must have been one of the best games we've casted in such a long time.
Yeah,
that was major levels of
I
hype.
don't know if it was in the top 5 series of all time. There's certainly an argument to be made for it. The only reason I can't say that with conviction is because I would have to go back and watch some of the spectacular series. X Games offered us a semifinal that was amazing between the same 2 teams we just saw.
I think it's just because it's such an iconic matchup in a continent you wouldn't expect them to be. It's just such a privilege to see them battling it out like that.
I think there's still a case for it. I mean, again, G2 Pro League finals at the O2 in London, major final in Atlanta, major final in Boston. There's been many, but in terms of what you and I have casted, no question it's in our top 5. That was amazing.
Nice work.
Not bad. Not bad.
Well then, we get back into the action here, ladies and gentlemen. Round 27. Fanatics still looking sharp, but Crim's only with the CZ here. Orb shot rattled off towards top of middle. Like we said, JW and Twist on the double orb combo here. Tarek with Apartment's control. One mistake will cost them map 1 in the semi-final, but remember, this is Fnatic's pickets. The next map we're interested in, that's where NRG can really cause damage, but Tarek will go down. Nice work from JW. Daps again, working towards B slowly, checking every nook and cranny. The Twist is there. This kid is fast, as you'll see. Takes a shot on Ethan, falls back safely. Oh, I thought he was about to get the second as well, but Daps beats him to the punch, but still Fnatic with the advantage here.
Smoke on top of the flames. Daps, he's gonna go. Flashes in, 2 of them. He's looking in though at them because he was trying to spray through, hoping he would emerge from the smoke. That forces him to have to back off, and it leaves Cirque on his own. It was a bit of a miscue on the flash that went through. Daps had turned, maybe they could continue the charge, but it's all on Breezy. 1 on 4, make it 3, perhaps 2, because Crim's is low, but he's got the angle on the op. And Fnatic start the series with a victory. And guess what? It didn't need overtime.
It didn't this time. They're looking poised and they've still got a lot of gas left in the tank, it seems. A solid performance overall there from Fnatic, especially the JW. I said he was up and down yesterday, but he was nothing but way up in the sky at this point. Hundreds of mob skills coming in. It felt like just so precise, so aggressive. It's Brolan as well, continuing that amazing form. 26 kills for him. What an absolute beast he's been this tournament. He doesn't seem nervous at all here, Matt. We'll take a quick break and be back with Nap number 2.